What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking about a film, kind of doing another Hobbricks recommends type video on a film that my friend recommended I watch with him. And I am super surprised that this film exists. I didn't even know about this film. I didn't even know, I'm surprised that it's as good as it is. But I didn't know anything about it, and I'm surprised because it has people that I love involved with it, creative minds that I really love. Phil Lord and Chris Miller have done no wrong. If you didn't know, they were involved with the production of the first two Lego movies and the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which are all some of my favorite movies. And, you know, looking at this poster, it looks pretty bad, right? It doesn't look very good. It looks kind of crappy. It looks like kind of a classic, weird family movie, baby movie. Not that good. And you'd be super surprised because this film is, surprisingly, I don't want to say, mature in terms of, oh, it's really dark or anything, but it has something that everyone can get out of it. Before I watched it, I was talking to Mom about it. I didn't know much about it. I knew it was about people fighting robots, and the main character was gay because my friend told me, and Abby Jacobson, who voices the main lead, Katie, she also voiced Nia in the Lego Ninjago movie. That's all I knew. So I told my mom, and I was like, hey, maybe you should watch this because I've heard it's good. And she's like, I don't think it's something I'd like. And after watching it, I think it really is something that she'd like because I feel like there's something everyone can get out of this. It's just an enjoyable film. It's a charming, wholesome movie that's incredibly funny and in some ways avoids tropes, but also sometimes lovingly embraces tropes of the genre while poking fun at them, and also has a nice message without outright dismissing anything. The robot aspect of the film, kind of the robot uprising, it's a catalyst to the family dynamic of the film, but it could easily be the kind of, boring, robot thing, and it was well done. It was played up for a very comedic, or it was played up in a very comedic way. It didn't take itself too seriously. It's still a better AI uprising story than Ultron, though. But it's played up to be comedic. It doesn't take itself too seriously. But it also doesn't dismiss the idea that, technology has its benefits. It doesn't say outright that technology is bad or it's toxic for people. I will admit, technology, social media, the internet, it's a dark place in many ways, and it's a dangerous place for many youth nowadays, and it's, I use it as a creative platform, but other people use it for other things, and it's a little bit disturbing now that we really think about it, but this film doesn't have a message about anti-internet or anti-tech. It's not a story like that, because there's a scene towards the end where kind of the character who allowed the robot uprising to happen basically kind of apologizes for it, but then another character says, hey, if this person over here was able to create something, this cool out of it and something so unique, maybe it's not all bad. Maybe, there are good things about it. And I really liked that message. I liked that it didn't outright say that social media is bad. It poked fun at the fact that we have become so addicted to social media. There's a joke in the film where the villain turns off the Wi-Fi and then the people are stomping around like cavemen going, the old world is dead or something. It's very comedic, and it pokes fun at kind of our strange reliance on social media and technology nowadays, but it also doesn't outright dismiss that technology has its benefits, which I liked. And the family dynamic is also really fun. The family feels realistic in many ways. You can relate to there's something for anyone to relate to, whether you're a mom, a dad trying to do your best, a weird nerdy kid, a weird derpy dog that's on crack, or a young lady trying to find her way in the world, and follow your passion, and the thing is, I relate to this protagonist quite a bit because I like, video making, production, animation, stuff like that, except my family's very supportive of it. In this film, it's the idea that, the dad wants to kind of transform the daughter into who he is, but she's also kind of feels like he doesn't like support what she does, and like my family's very supportive of my endeavors, but we get into arguments sometimes, we fight, but I really like this story, that it's like, because like it's just a story that a lot of people need to hear, especially if you're someone who has a kind of a difficult family dynamic. It's that by the end of the day, your family, they still love you, you're a family, and you have to love your family, like unless they're like crazy murderers, but they're always there for you, they always try to do the right thing for you, and you just have to understand, you have to try to understand each other, you have to try and kind of understand people. And I like that a lot about this film, is that I feel that's just an issue with society as a whole, is that we don't try to understand each other enough. We like to try to defend each other, we like to try and help each other out, but we don't really understand each other, so there's always going to be a divide between us. And I really like that this film explored that concept of, just having to understand someone. And it's just very poignant stuff, and it's something that anyone can get something out of. With the previous works from these guys, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, or is it the other way around? I don't know. I might be saying their names wrong. I apologize if I am. But like with their past works, like my sister doesn't like the Lego Movie for some reason. I don't know why. I love it. My other sister loves it. The rest of my family loves it. She just doesn't like it. She liked the Ninjago movie, which is weird, but she didn't like it. I feel like she gets something out of this. Everyone can get something out of this film. And it feels like even the aspect of the protagonist being gay, like I brought up earlier, it's not played up in the normal sense in these films where it's a side thing that feels like it's shoved in to kind of have a representation moment, because it's a thing that's built up naturally throughout the film. It's something you don't really realize until the end of the film, where it's officially kind of confirmed to you that she is bisexual, but throughout the film, it's, hinted at, and when you look at it in retrospect, it's kind of obvious, and it feels like it's naturally built into the film in a way that, it's not Old Guard levels where, I was talking about the film recently, the Old Guard recently, where the two of the main protagonists are gay, and you can't really change it unless you take them out of the film entirely. It's not to that level, but it's something where, bisexual people, LGBTQ people, they'll feel, I think, represented enough. I think it's nice. I think it's nice in the film, like, and it's a protagonist. It's a character that's built into the film, and it's a character I can relate to. I'm not gay, but I can still relate to her, And I feel like it doesn't feel like the usual cynical move where it's just, we have to shove in this thing for the LGBTQ community. It's not the one side character kind of pops in and goes, I'm gay, like Joe Russo from Endgame or whatever, or, background kiss from Rise of Skywalker, or the Cyclops cop from Onward. It's not like these kind of forced in LGBTQ representation moments because they have to fill the quota, but they can also cut it out of the film. That's not what it's like. It's confirmed towards the end of the film. The only time it's kind of explicitly stated is at the end of the film, but it's built up throughout the film in a way where it's just a nice message about acceptance. And the way they bring it up at the end of the film isn't like kind of a forced in random moment where someone says they're gay. Like the parents are happy, and it's like it's integrated in a way where it feels like, it's a nice message about embracing people for their differences. So the family, they have to embrace each other. And I really like that. Acceptance is a big theme in the film. And I like that was built into the main character, being a gay person. And it also feels natural in terms of, like, real life and in society nowadays. Like, she is gay, and it's hinted at through the film, and I assume that she comes out to her parents at some point off screen, and then at the end of the film, it's shown that she is gay, and it feels like, it's a natural representation, a realistic representation, despite all the comedic, despite all the silliness and self-awareness, that, there's still a sincere heart to this film, and that it can be realistic. Like the family feels realistic and relatable, even though it's in a very exaggerated version of today's world. And I really liked that. Even some of the dog humor I like is like, I don't have a pug, but I have a rather chubby older dog. And it's just kind of funny, like some of the humor they pulled with that dog. And even these kind of little gags that are set up throughout the film, they all come back into play in the finale. And I just love kind of writing like that, where all these elements that they set up earlier that you think are going to be throwaway gags all come back towards the end, and they all kind of add to something. They're all like utilized later in the film, and there was a reason for them being there. That's just satisfying writing. Like, I liked the way it was written in that sense, where everything kind of had a payoff towards the end. Everything kind of came back into play. And it all led to the best gag I've seen in one of these movies. There's this really sincere moment where the protagonist is giving this speech about family and, like the value of life, and it's just like, it's a really poignant and emotional moment. And then it cuts to this gag, and it's this gag that I did not see coming, because throughout the film, it was tropey, it was cliche, but it was addressing those cliches. Like, it was acknowledging and self-aware of how kind of tropey it was. But they subverted this trope hard at the end, and it was so funny. I thought the film was going to end there. The main conflict was going to resolve with this heartwarming speech. But nope, they pull the funniest gag that I've seen in one of these animated movies in a long time, and I could not believe how funny that was. That was pulled off so well. That was amazing. I was laughing for 2 minutes after that gag happened, and I couldn't even concentrate on the film. Like, I didn't see that coming at all, and it was so funny. That was just such a funny gag, and, I haven't laughed that long or that hard at something in a long time. It's a wholesome movie. Like, it just made me feel happy inside. It made me feel warm. The writing is good. The characters are solid. It feels like anyone can get anything out of this film. And it's just a nice movie about acceptance, family, really everything. And it's accessible for everyone, whether you're looking for kind of a nice family movie, a good comedy, or, a nice story about family, just a story about anything. If you're looking for that, you get it here. Everything is here. And, it's just another great, movie to add to the list of movies by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the Lego movies and Spider-Verse. It's not better than Spider-Verse. I don't think it's better than the first Lego movie. But that's the thing. I feel like the Lego Movie 2, a film that I really do enjoy, by the way, has these elements that this film, I feel, executes better. Towards the end, it becomes a little bit tropey in the Lego Movie 2, and it's sweet and heartwarming, but it feels a little bit too tropey. I feel like it could have benefited from a little bit more of the self-awareness that's in this film. I mean, Lego Movie 2 is a very self-aware film, but it feels like it gets too self-aware to a point where the sincere moments feel like they fall a little bit flat. In this film, I felt everything worked, and it's just awesome. I'd recommend you guys go see it. I've talked about it longer than I intended to, so yeah, you guys please go watch The Mitchells vs. the Machines, an unexpectedly great film, and one that I will probably rewatch again. I can definitely see myself rewatching it. The only problem I really had with it was the fact that it's a little bit too high energy, to the point where when you get to the end, you feel really tired, because it's just so funny and so high energy that by the end of it, you feel like you need to take a nap. It's just kind of an exhausting experience, but not in a bad way. It feels like you're spending a day at a few hours at a theme park, so that's my only problem. It's just a little bit too high energy. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. But yeah, you guys please let me know all your thoughts on The Mitchells vs. the Machines if you've seen it, and if you have not, please let me know what you thought of the review, and are you going to check it out now? Just please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.